Hello everybody! My name is Pobzer, and in honor of the recent releases of The Evil Within and Alien Isolations, along with the upcoming releases of Silent Hills and Soma, I've gone ahead and made a top 10 scariest games of all time list. Now, before we get started, let me clear some things up. Number 1, these are not my 10 favorite scariest games of all time. I've gone back, played several hours of mini horror games, and these were the 10 I found the scariest. Number 2, I'm only going to do one game per franchise, because if I didn't, there might be multiple games per franchise on this list. So, without further ado, and without any other time-consuming thing that I can think of, let's get started!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up.
Starting off strong here, at number 10 we have Dead Space, where you play as a badass engineer, Isaac Clarke, who kills monster after monster after monster of necromorphs. And necromorphs are the undead who have been turned into aliens by aliens. Trust me, it makes sense. While you're never completely alone in this game, as you have your companions Kendra and Hammond to tell you what to do, you're mostly left to do these tasks by yourself. And this creates a sense of cautious tension around the player, as you can get jumped at any time by anything, especially when there's a dead body laying on the ground and it's just waiting to gnaw on your face! In conclusion, this game is absolutely terrifying. However, all the guns you're given are able to cut through many necromorphs very quickly, so you never feel like you're in that big of danger. And that's why this game checks in at number 10. At number 9 we have the internet sensation Slender. A couple years ago, Slender was released, and it became an almost instant internet success. So if you live under a rock or you're just new to the internet, let me explain how this works. You're dropped into the woods with no explanation why, and you are forced to collect 8 pages, all while being chased down by a psychopath in a suit. The way his mechanics work is that he only moves when you're not looking at him. However, if you look at him too long, he captures you and kills you. Also, if you don't get all 8 pages quick enough, he captures you and kills you. But on the bright side, if you get all 8 pages, he captures you and kills you! Yes! Wait. What the fuck? All in all, this game is terrifying. But it is a jump scare game, and it overuses the jump scare to the point where you get used to it and it loses its horror value, turning it into not scary. This game checks in at number 9. Up next at number 8 we have Fear, which was a highly anticipated horror game when it was announced. In Fear you play as Point Man, the newly assigned team member to the Fear Squad. Throughout the game, you have to fight many different enemies, all while a little girl named Alma is just messing with your head. The game uses psychological horror, in that there are many hallucinations and things that you're seeing that are not real. This keeps the player on edge and creates a tense atmosphere, as you don't know what can hurt you and what can't. However, the fact that you have a gun and essentially superpowers makes this game feel more like a first-person shooter with horror aspects than a true horror game. And the hallucinations become more routine and not startling as you continue to play the game. In conclusion, this game is still terrifying and still very fun to play. However, the aspects that take away from the horror make this game check in at number 8. Up next at number 7, we have Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly, which is considered by most to be one of the scariest games of all time, and with good reason. You play as two sisters who have stumbled across a haunted village. Armed with only a camera, you have to use it to defeat ghosts and capture their soul. As you continue playing and try to find your way out of the village, you realize that the two sisters finding this village is not a coincidence, and they're both set to be the next pair of sacrifices that the village uses in their ritual. This game gives off a sense of helplessness. Even though you have a camera and you can defeat ghosts, you never feel like you're safe. This game uses all the aspects of the horror genre very well, and it checks in at number 7. So you played the first 2 Resident Evils before. Kill some infected, shoot some zombies, watch some doors open. You're basically a professional, but what the fuck are you? Holy shit! What are you? Oh my god, no, he killed him! Is that a tentacle? Oh god! I'm out of here, fuck that, I'm not fighting this thing, peace! Now on top of having to kill zombies and solve puzzles Resident Evil style, you have to try and survive from where the fuck did you get a rocket launcher? If this game had remained the same as the first 2 Resident Evils, survival horror in Raccoon City, killing some zombies, especially since you have guns to defend yourself, it probably wouldn't have even made the list. But because of Nemesis, this game checks in at number 6. At number 5, we have System Shock 2. And yeah, the graphics of this game haven't aged great, but the horror of this game is not in the graphics. It's in the atmosphere and the audio. Let's take a second and listen to some of the stuff that gets whispered into your ear as you're playing it.
Babies must sleep. Babies must rest. Wise is the one who does not waken them. Leave this place now, or we will wound you as you have us.
Are you kidding me with that? Imagine trying to go through the whole game with stuff like that whispered in your ear. The main antagonist of this game is an AI named Shodan, who has essentially infected this whole ship with a virus, and he's trying to infect you, the player, also. This would be one game that I would say, don't judge it before you play it. This game is scary, and it checks it at number 5. At number 4, we have Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. In this game, you play as Alex, who has recently found out that her grandfather has been murdered. While investigating his murder, things start to go a little awry. As she starts to lose her sanity, she starts to relive the lives of people who have run into Pius Augustus, the main antagonist of the game, who is trying to release his master onto the world so that he may eat all living things. This game is very good, and its whole point is to fuck with your head, and it does an excellent job. This game deserves an HD remake. However, until it gets one, it's number 4. Damn it! At number 3, we have Silent Hill 2. And if you know Silent Hill, you know it makes you do things you do not want to do. Like stick your hand into that hole in the wall and oh! Okay, you're fine. Anyway, you play as James Sunderland, who has recently received a letter from his supposedly dead wife. So you travel to Silent Hill to try and find her. However, as you play, the story gets revealed that maybe your wife isn't dead or died the way you think she did, and what actually happened to you as you run through a monster-infested Silent Hill. Also, you have to avoid maybe the worst monster in any video game, Pyramid Head. I hate that thing. Silent Hill keeps the tension high at all times and keeps you guessing about what you're seeing constantly. It's a good horror game. That's why it's number 3. At number 2 we have Outlast. Easily the newest game on this list, and by far the bloodiest and the most gory of any other game on this entire list. In Outlast, you play as Miles Upshur, a reporter who has recently traveled to Mount Massive Asylum, only to find out that the whole place has gone to hell, and that everything and anything wants to kill you, either by mutilation, eating you, skinning you, or even torturing you. With the character models looking like undead skeletons with the skin still left on them, and the only mechanic of surviving is by running and hiding because you can't fight back, the game leaves you in a blind panic the whole time, and the only comfort you have is to look through the lens of your night vision camera, which isn't always comforting when there are a pair of eyes looking back at you. The game leaves you in a sense of helplessness, and this is ultimately terrifying. This game is scary, and it checks in at number 2. At number 1 we have Amnesia, The Dark Descent, the puzzle horror game where you play as Daniel, who has amnesia. I know, shocking, isn't it? As you go through the story and explore Brennenburg Castle, you're left to figure out what the heck is going on as you do puzzles and are chased by monsters. As you continue to go through the castle, you start to piece the story together through notes that are left by various people, including yourself. With this game not having the most horrific, tense atmosphere and more of a, what the fuck? Is that a baby puking up blood? Type of atmosphere, the game leaves you at the mercy of the story. And that's a good thing because this game has a very good story. You get immersed into the game and it makes you even more terrified than you should be. This game has many mechanics that are excellent, and all of it put together makes it the number 1 horror game on this list. I didn't want to put it number 1 originally, but after replaying it, I couldn't bring myself to not. The number 1 horror game is Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Well, hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back. Now, if you like this video, you could hit the like button. You know, like the video, like button. Makes sense, right? Also, I'm interested to hear people's opinions on their top 10 horror games. So leave that in the comments below. I'm actually interested in you guys' opinions. Also, if you want to see more top 10 videos and more videos that we put out on this channel, subscribe to the Lightspeed channel. You'll be up to date with the more videos we put out. And if you want to see, I don't know, some of these games Let's Played on this list, you could head over to my channel at Pobser7 and watch me play games with varying amounts of skill. Right now I'm playing Sonic Adventure and Assassin's Creed Unity and just finished up Evil Within recently. Check out my channel if you feel so inclined. But as always, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.